What up, folks? Welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony, musician and music director living here in Seattle. The other day, someone dropped this Elden Ring piece in the Discord in the suggestion channel. I was like, you know what? Let's check this out because it's been forever since we did anything Elden Ring. All right, I'm very excited to check this out. Here we go. Oh, beautiful bass drum and tubular chimes in those downbeats. Gorgeous melodic use, strings, voice. Oh, the phrasing there, that was exceptionally gorgeous. Okay. It's the first 40 seconds or so. Obviously, we're kind of cruising around very slow in 12/8. At least that's what it feels like. I love those emphasized downbeats. It felt like maybe a little bit of timpani swells there into concert bass drum with tubular chimes on top of that to really kind of solidify that. But that's just the percussion in me nerding out. Obviously, piano is leading us rhythmically through this progression, kind of laying down, our tonal center and just guiding us. But strings come in, vocals come in, and we kind of just trade roles with how that melody is going to weave around. It's absolutely gorgeous. Underneath, it feels like a big string bass kind of droning a little bit, just breathing, coming in and out. And then we pull back a little bit of rubato, time to start to slow down. We get that little piano lick there. But talk about just a gorgeous introduction. Let's keep going. Where are we going now? Feels very passionate. Feel how different that pulse is with those accents. Piano very active underneath, below that middle line. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. That was very, hold on, let's pause for a moment. That was very powerful. There was some similarity from the first 40 seconds as far as where we were within the time signature, some thematic ideas that we had, but it was just bleeding passion in the beginning. And then once we get the thematic boom, to come in being reinforced so many times, I don't know what's happening in the game right here, but it's pulling at my heartstrings and I have no context, but musically speaking, it's very enjoyable to listen to. That was a great use of just kind of strength and dynamics to really show us where we're going to go. It felt, I don't know, I guess the theme felt a little bit different when we first dropped in. They're explored just a little bit differently. But then we kind of came back and reinforced the first ideas that we had. Yet rhythmically, we really had that zoom, zoom, zoom. There was like just really big quarter note pulse reinforcement there that just gave it a different, very tangibly different. Anyway, outstanding writing. But please, I'll take all the context you want to give me for what's going on in the game. Let's continue on. Oh, vocals. The brass. It's so hard not to stop. This one feels so different. The arrival to that chord, though. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, that was obviously very powerful. I said that it was different. Yeah, it does have some similar properties, but musically speaking, it just felt really a nice chunk of variety, unrelated. It does have some relations, but there were so many moments of just kind of floating in what felt like some dissonances at moments where the tonality just was kind of clashing a little bit, and we just kind of rub against each other. What was similar though is the piano being pretty busy in the middle layers and the vocal line and strings being up top, exploring some different musical themes there. But for me, it was when the brass came back and we resolved and everyone hit that chord. It just felt like what a major chord, like what a tonal center that just wasn't really explored previously. So that felt quite a bit like just, I don't know what's changed within the game with what's happening here, but very tangibly a different listening experience. So I don't know. The other thing they're doing really well is the use of dynamics. I mean, it's pretty dominant, right? At the beginning, it was light, but it built in. But what I described as passion earlier was more with the way the note choices are being used, the way the chords are being stacked but it was loud though, within the context of it. But now we've kind of stayed loud and we get kind of more of a different cloud of sound. So we're only 4 minutes in, we're over halfway. So I'm super curious how this will resolve out, if we'll explore more of those ideas that were already here, or are we going to go somewhere else? But let's find out. This feels very different. Oh. Middle strings, way louder than previous. Solo violin. That adds a very different texture. The straight eighth notes right there, cool. String bass feels tangibly different as well. Way more involved, outlining the progression. There's moments where it feels super evil, but then we resolve back to where we were. And I get tricked. Ooh. That's loud. what a way to end. That is so gorgeous. Massive resonation. Wow, beautiful piece of music. Those of you that are friends of the channel, you know that often I tend to stop, probably too much for the average interest, but I fought it this time because we could have stopped every 5 seconds to talk about all these really, really interesting things that were going on. But, you know, we want to keep it surface level for right now. The ending part there was extreme, dynamically speaking, much more extreme than anything we had. So we kind of did this the whole way. The notes that we kind of just talked about kind of clashing in the second variant, we had a lot more of that in the third, but it was just so explosive. I still felt the passion is still there. These ideas that were explored, they just kind of augmented on themselves and kind of got stacked. Now, I would assume it's probably, I mean, I don't know because I don't have the context. I'm imagining it's boss fight related. Maybe that's what the game seems to be. This is from an outsider standpoint that's never played it, just like I've watched some people stream it, so I don't really have any context there. Yet it feels like this would be the appropriate way to crescendo and just kind of push the energy through what's going on with your character on the screen and what you're fighting, and to kind of represent the difficulty of that, because obviously I don't have to have played the game to know how difficult, not to have known, but to get some, you know, some proximity to know that this is a demanding game to play. But musically, that's also a little bit demanding on your ears because there's so much happening. There's so much sound. There's so much volume being pushed in there, and they're all long tones, meaning nothing is short. Nothing is staccato. Everything is just one elongation after the other, and they're big sounds, not small. Big timpani crashes, big bass drum crashes, big string bass stuff happening, just cascading vocals. But then, however, we do get the one little solo violin for a moment. That added a complete different texture. And within the whole, this piece is 7 minutes long. Within that, there's a few moments where we pull away and we get some just exposure to other ideas. But for the most part, it's a very big and present piece of music. So anyway, we'll keep it at that. I would love to know all your context about the game. Please and thank you. Let me know what you think about the music down in the comments below.